one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey guys, this is Marshall from Loveland, Ohio. I just wanted to call in for a listener request. You guys could do Snatch. It's one of my favorite Guy Ritchie movies. Love to hear it. Love the show. Thanks so much, guys. And looking forward to hearing some more soon. Bye.
Welcome back to Cinema Cult Network. I'm Chris.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Honto.
And we are continuing our listener request month. And this is from Marshall, as you heard. He wanted to hear us talk about the movie Snatch from 2001. Did we just talk?
You really just asked
I
us.
already met.
2000.
The audience didn't hear that. 2000.
Oh, cool. Start over.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, start over.
Yeah, start over.
Yeah. So Marshall requested Snatch. I have seen, before I watched it for the podcast, like maybe half of it. And I turned it off because I did not like it.
I've seen this like 250,000 times.
Okay, so we know Hans likes it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen this a lot of times.
This is my second viewing of this movie.
Do I like it today? I guess you'll have to stay tuned for the podcast.
Oh man.
Will he like it tomorrow is the real question.
When I watch it for the 250,000th and one time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And Matt, you said you've seen it twice now?
Yeah, the last time I watched this was like early 2000s because I watched this like a week after I watched Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels.
Okay, you're a wee lad when you saw this back in 2000.
Yeah, I was probably like 38, like 15. I was probably like 15 or 16 when I saw this. So
okay,
so it was like I think it was like 2005. I don't know. I'm ballparking.
Cool.
Early 2000s, they're a blur. You know.
You got a nice order. You went to the theater. You got a nice order of fish and chips, and you went and saw Snatch.
Oh, that's insensitive of you, Honto.
What? That's a dish over in the UK.
Culturally insensitive of you, Honto.
Well put.
Cool.
But speaking of which, can anybody understand anything in this movie?
I watched it with subtitles on.
To talk about. Yeah.
All right, so really quick. Let me ask that then. Did you watch the movie with subtitles on?
Yeah. I just said
okay.
I watched it with subtitles on.
Chris?
Okay. I said yeah.
Okay.
This
is a riveting conversation. Yeah, what? Yes or no? Did you like? You said just yes.
I said yes.
He said yes like 3 times, and you kept
asking. I did say yes. Like
let's get to the fucking Rotten Tomatoes score. What do we got? Who wants to guess? Oh, I think 65%.
Man, he's so upset that he's gonna get all these wrong in a few seconds.
Dude, Matt's like roided out right now. He's got his cut off t-shirt.
Let's go. He's got a little mustache. He's got a little mustache going on. Come on, guys, let's talk about Snatch already.
Just get to it.
Okay, what do you guys think it made domestically?
Sorry, go ahead. I'm being a dick.
All right, so 2003 Snatch. What does it have on Rotten Tomatoes?
45.
I'll start off with you. Okay, Matt. Okay, Matt wants to start. Matt, go ahead. No,
45%. I said it. 45%.
It's got a 62% on Rotten Teas.
It has a 74% on RTs.
Really?
So, and how much was the budget?
Well, it sounds like Matt was getting his personal score for that Rotten Tomatoes score.
I don't know about that.
Guy Ritchie's Snatch. What was the budget for this film? Honto, I'll start off with you.
50 million.
Okay.
15 million.
Honto, did you say 50?
15 million.
You're a liar. You said 50.
I said 15.
You said 50.
No, I didn't. Yeah, go back and
Matt, did he say 50?
Honto said 50.
Go back and listen to the cassette after this podcast.
Yeah. Okay. So Honto, you were way off. The budget was 10 million.
I was only 5 million off then. So
sure.
Liar.
And how much did this make? We do have both domestic and international. How much did this make
How much did this make domestically on the money?
Honto.
That sounds about right.
50 million.
Okay, Matt.
I'll say 60 million.
$30 million.
Okay.
Oh wow.
And how much did it make internationally? Actually, let's do worldwide. What did it make around the world? We have 30 million in America. Worldwide, it made Matt go.
60.
It made okay.
62 million.
83 million.
Wow.
So wow.
Honto, you won both those.
Wow.
Yeah. Are you upset now, Matt?
No.
Okay. So it's safe to say this was a hit based on a $10 million budget, making 83 worldwide. That's pretty solid. Honto, why don't you take us to the cast and crew of 2009 Snatch?
What do you got? What do you got, Matt? What about Rotten Tomatoes? What do you got here?
Did you guys watch it with subtitles?
This is the first time I think we've covered it since we've been doing Rotten Tomatoes. This is the first time I think we've covered a movie that was released in a different country. So when you say domestically, are you meaning domestically here?
That's how I was
domestically.
Yeah.
And how much did it make in quid rather than USDs?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too much for me.
Or GBP.
Yeah.
Actually, I did have that. 6 million GBP.
Okay.
So I
didn't have that written down.
Wow. Wait. Okay.
Don't bother doing the conversion. You don't know it.
So it made more here than it made over in England.
I mean, it's probably. I don't know what the rate was at
the conversion rate. I think the conversion rate is like, it's not. I mean, yes, I can say if it made 6 million.
Yeah.
To 30 million. Yeah. The US it made more.
Okay.
I don't know the conversion rate, but I know it's not that far off.
I have the conversion numbers. So domestically in the US, domestic for us, 30 million, and internationally it made 53.
Huh.
That's not what I'm asking.
Oh, you're asking me something?
Did you not follow any of the things we just talked about?
Is domestic mean UK?
Yeah, I just said it. Domestic is us. This is an American ran thing.
Then no.
This website.
The answer is no. Honto asked you, is it UK? And you said yes. I mean, you're like, yes, us. The US or us? What are you saying?
Matt, if it's your goal to make me cry on this podcast, you're getting pretty close. All right.
Okay. All right.
I'm
asking.
Oh, there's more?
Matt, I actually do know what you're trying to ask because I was thinking the same thing. But we can.
Honto was asking the same thing as me.
Ask me the question, only using 4 words. 4 words. Go.
That's one.
Wait, don't use that. That's it. You're all done.
UK theater money only.
53 million.
Yeah, but is that USDs or is that GBP?
That is US dollars.
Okay.
53 million.
Okay.
You said internationally. That means worldwide.
Yes, no, it doesn't. Worldwide means worldwide. International means away from domestic. Us.
God, we sound like the biggest fucking idiots right now.
Matt and his tear-making questions. Honto.
No, go ahead. Just get on with the friggin' podcast.
Hey, Matt, you do the research. Honto. You do the research, and then I'll go through the cast and crew, and then just return. I'm
listening.
Return to the podcast if you have the answer.
So domestic means
what answer?
Okay, international means worldwide. That means worldwide.
No, it doesn't.
Domestic. No. Domestic means that it's like to the country that it was made in. So what I'm asking is, did this money is the domestic?
because Snatch is a UK made / released movie. Is domestic related to UK?
No, I've said this. Domestic is us.
Okay.
We're domestic.
Okay.
US. So you don't have the numbers for what it made in the UK.
I told you 50. Oh, just in the UK alone,
yeah,
or
UK
else?
Only. Yeah, that's what we're trying
to
do.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't
know. Yes. What money? How much did it make in the UK?
How much did it make in Arizona? I don't know. I don't have those numbers.
That's a totally different question. All right, Honto, casting
Honto.
crew. Let's do it, man.
Cast and crew, 2009 Snatch. Please take us through it.
It grossed 12,137,698 GBP in the UK when it came out.
Is this part of the cast and crew?
It made more money in the US than it made in its original released country of the UK.
It made 30 million in the US, but I don't know what the conversion rate is. So,
do we know
but I'm just saying
Florida,
it's more.
The Florida numbers? Do we know how much you made in Florida? I'm just trying to stay along with everything else. Honto, go ahead.
Don't knock yourself like that, Chris. Don't make fun of yourself like that.
Why aren't you crying, Chris?
You're embarrassing us. Cast in order of the movie's order, like the credits that they do, which they kind of did my job for me. Starring Dennis Farina as cousin Avi, best known probably for Manhunter and then several seasons of Law and Order. And then we got Lennie James as Saul. Sahara, he's making a killing right now on The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead. We got
which one is this? Which one's Samara?
Sahara's the movie with Matthew McConaughey and Steve Zahn.
Who's this character you're talking about?
Saul.
I'm out of here.
Saul.
Saul. Which character was he?
He's like one of the three pawn shop owners. The three. Okay. They have the dog, and the dog eats the diamond.
Yeah.
Then we have Brad Pitt as Mickey, previous episode, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Then we have Robbie G as Vinnie, one of the other three pawnbrokers, Underworld, and he was apparently in Zack Snyder's Justice League, which we just covered back in March of this year. Benicio del Toro as Frankie Four Fingers, previous episode, License to Kill, and then Excess Baggage is probably what he's best known for. And then we have Jason Statham as Turkish. What? Did I miss one of his movies or something, Matt? You're just going to critique both of us in our jobs?
This is all over the place.
Well,
I would say
I'm going in order. I'm going in order of the opening credits of the movie.
Oh, okay. Of appearance. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Adam Fogarty as Gorgeous George. He was actually a former football player, like soccer player. But he was in Stardust, and then he was also in a Vinnie Jones movie called Mean Machine, which is a remake of the Burt Reynolds / Longest Yard with Adam Sandler.
Oh, really? Wait.
You know the Burt Reynolds Longest Yard and Adam Sandler's remake, The Longest Yard?
Yes.
Mean Machine is a remake of that movie.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's soccer. It's like a soccer movie.
Okay.
We have Stephen Graham as Tommy. He actually kind of made it made a huge trajectory after this movie because he was in Gangs of New York, Scorsese. And then he was in Boardwalk Empire, which is like I think every season.
Yes,
Capone,
he plays Capone,
which is a Scorsese produced. Yeah, it's a Scorsese executive produced show on HBO. Mm-hmm. And then he was in Irishman most recently, which is also.
He was. I was trying to figure out if it was him. I try not to look at the cast and crew when we do these movies.
Yeah.
So it's like it's really hard when I'm watching something. I'm like, is that the same guy? He looks.
He's
good for his age.
He's like a child in this movie, but he looks pretty much the same. Because
he's supposed to play Al Capone on Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's supposed to be in his, he's supposed to be in his 20s, I think.
Oh yeah, I mean it's
Al Capone.
Like out in the show because I watched the show. It's basically like in the first episode you get introduced to Al Capone as basically like an up and comer, and then like throughout the series he becomes like a criminal kingpin basically.
What I'm saying is that he's supposed to he's like in his 20s on Boardwalk Empire, and then in Snatch he's actually in his like 20s, and there's like a good 15-year gap there.
I see what you're saying.
Dude, he looks really good for his age.
Yeah. This dude's awesome. Like I always love when he pops up and stuff. He's like such a piece of shit in Irishman, but he like does a great job on that in that movie.
Yeah.
We have Vinnie Jones as Bullet Tooth Tony. Previous episode, which is probably like actually I think one of the best times I've ever had recording previous episode Swordfish, where we talk about John Travolta and that dummy on the helicopter, which is like one of the best. I feel like the funniest bits that we like went into.
This is stupid, but who was he in Swordfish?
He was like one of John Travolta's henchmen. He's the guy that falls out of that bus with that passenger or the hostage, and then they blow up like in the air. Basically, it's like during that last chase sequence. Basically, we got Mike Reed as Doug the Head, and then we have Alan Ford as Bricktop. I last saw him, or most recently saw him in the Bob Hoskins movie, The Long Good Friday, which is a excellent UK crime movie. That movie, rules.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. It's on my list.
It was a blind buy and a blind watch, basically, on Arrow from Arrow UK. Watched it, and I was like, this movie is underrated, and Bob Hoskins is underappreciated. I feel like
this is okay. The final guy you listed, this is the guy who runs the dog fighting, right?
Yeah, the guy that feeds people the pigs, basically.
So a couple pieces of trivia for casting, since we're talking about casting, and you're done, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so Brad.
Unless you want to hear real quick, my connection to From Dusk Till Dawn 3, The Hangman's Daughter.
I'll allow it.
Alan Ford to David Naughton in American Werewolf in London. David Naughton to Clint Howard in Ice Cream Man. Clint Howard to Sid Haig in 3 from Hell. Sid Haig to Michael Parks in Kill Bill Volume 2. Michael Parks from Dusk Till Dawn 3, The Hangman's Daughter.
And there you go.
And
that's it. That's it for this week for Snatch.
Yeah, that's it. I have nothing else to say at all about this movie.
Okay, trivia. So going back, the final guy you listed.
Yeah, Alan Ford is his name.
Alan Ford. So originally Alan Ford was a cast in this movie, and Danny Boyle. Sorry.
Danny Boyle?
Peter Boyle?
No, the director.
Oh, Guy Ritchie.
Peter Boyle.
Well, you said Boyle, so I was like, where do you go with this? Actor. You said actor Alan Ford. So I thought you were going for the actor Peter Boyle.
Hold on. Okay. Alan Ford. Okay, Alan Ford. Guy Ritchie originally wanted Sean Connery to play this part. And so what he did was he set up a private screening of Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels for just Sean Connery. Okay. And he's really excited about it. And Sean Connery came out of the private screening and he's like, yeah, he's like, that was an excellent movie, but you can't afford me. So he decided to turn this movie down.
What a shitty thing to do.
Yeah. And another piece of casting, Brad Pitt saw Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, loved it so much that he wanted to be in Guy Ritchie's next movie. And that's how he got casted in this.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Of
the Sean Connery.
Yeah.
I like how he says, like, yeah, you can't afford me. It's like, geez.
I guess I forgot to I guess I forgot because I actually used my old notes. I forgot to mention Rade Šerbedžija, who plays Boris the Blade. He pops up in
what's the old notes?
What do you mean old? What do you mean old notes?
I think I typed them up on one like a computer at first, and then I moved over my phone, and then my phone was
okay. I thought it was like a several.
But yeah, this guy was actually the homeless guy that Bruce Wayne gives his jacket to in Batman Begins, and then he sees him again. He sees him again in Batman Begins when he comes back as Batman. He's like, "Nice jacket," and then flies away.
Which guy was this?
He's Boris the Blade, the guy, the bullet dodger, basically.
Oh yes,
yes. So he gives him the jacket. I think the guy says like nice jacket or something, gives it to him, and then when he comes back to Gotham, he's like nice jacket, and then flies away.
Yeah.
And that's all I have for cast and crew. I promise that's the last one.
Okay, so Snatch is one of those movies where it's going to be hard to like talk about because there's so much going on. It's very fast paced. There's like these three characters are doing this, and then this happens, and this happens.
There's a lot of connected stories that are jumping back and forth with lots of crazy transitions, like spinning around, and it's just like Guy Ritchie, just cool it and tell your story, please.
So what if we did this? What if we break it up by story, but we break it up by actor? Because there's obviously like a Benicio del Toro story.
Yeah, which is that could be the beginning. Yeah, that could be just the entire beginning.
You know what I mean? So let's just talk about the Benicio del Toro stuff first. I don't know.
Okay. So Benicio del Toro.
He's Frankie Four Fingers.
Yeah, we're gonna have to work on this one together because it is
fine.
a lot of
That's why there's 3 of us. Don't worry about it.
Oh, thanks. Okay, so let's talk about Del Toro's thing because let's talk about the basis of this movie because it's all about
a diamond.
I feel like it doesn't have it's the main premise is this diamond.
Yeah.
But then there's all these stories that kind of like stem off of like Brad Pitt's story and whatever. Because basically it is Jason Statham's movie, right? Are we on agreement on that?
I would assume that he's the main character. He's the one that links all the characters together.
I think he interacts with pretty much everybody at some point.
Except for the 3 thieves that work at the pawn shop.
I guess he sees them at the very end, but that's about it.
He sees them at the end, but he never interacts with them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So let's go ahead and we'll spawn off from Jason Statham and how they were connected. Let's start like with him as like the head and kind of go off. Because Jason Statham's character is, he's not like a bookie.
He's a boxing promoter.
He's a boxing promoter, yeah.
Yeah. And the whole premise for him is that he has this fighter that's going to fight. It's hard to like connect because
he's a boxing promoter that has this character named Gorgeous George, who's the guy that's in the remake of Longest Yard. He basically has him slated to fight Bricktop, who's like the lead gangster in this movie. He has him slated to fight his fighter, but like to fall in the 4th round, I think. So it's like a fixed fight. But then in the process, because he's got to get a caravan, which is like to do the promoting. So they go to get the caravan from Brad Pitt, but Brad Pitt ends up basically knocking out the dude or basically breaking his jaw so he can't fight anymore. And that's kind of like how they get linked to the pikey is what they refer to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And dude, Brad Pitt's whole thing, because Brad Pitt is supposed to play a gypsy, and his character is supposed to be like inaudible. And I turned it off the first time I watched it because I could not understand it. Therefore, I didn't feel like I was in on the joke. I felt like, I don't want to say it was pretentious, but like I'm trying to follow this story and I don't know what this character is saying. And it's funny, but if I can't understand it, I feel like I'm losing this movie. You know what I mean?
Well, I guess like this all stems from Guy Ritchie getting so much shit from reviewers from doing Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels because like nobody could understand what those characters were talking. Really? They're speaking like real thick, like London accents.
So speaking of Batman Begins, I guess they're going kind of like the Christopher Nolan route of like inaudible movies. You can't understand the dialogue.
Yeah, you got to pay attention extra hard.
Yeah. Even with subtitles, it still doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So the subtitles made it more enjoyable though with Brad Pitt's character.
Yeah. Yes. So Brad Pitt's character is supposed to be inaudible. You're not supposed to understand him. It's supposed to be an in joke.
That's the joke because even Jason Statham and Stephen Graham, they can't understand like what he's saying basically.
Yeah. But it's still hard to follow a movie when you're like, am I supposed to be understanding him? Or like, are these plot points that he's telling me? Like, I'm not getting this joke. But with subtitles, it was funnier and I did enjoy it more. So yes, subtitles throughout this entire movie.
I'm used to this though. I feel like let's talk about subtitles for a second. Because like, do you guys mostly watch movies with subtitles? Like, we've brought this up before on the podcast.
Yeah, I typically will watch with subtitles on.
Okay. Because
it depends.
Yeah. Because like a lot of these now, Chris, you can break this down better for like the understanding of it, but somebody told you about why you can't understand stuff on Netflix and you always have to watch with subtitles, right? So you go ahead and explain that.
Okay, so part of the reason is a lot of people's stereos are 2-channel stereos. So you have 2 speakers, but a lot of the stuff is filmed or it's presented in 5.1. So then you have these speakers for everything, but you don't have a speaker for your main dialogue.
Center channel should be like your dialogue. And then the rest should be kind of your sound effects or music or blah, blah, you know.
But then if you don't have that setup, then it gets filtered to the rest of the speakers. And so when you're watching something and it explodes and it's really loud, and then it goes back to talking, it's really quiet. So you turn it up to hear the dialogue, and then the explosion happens, it gets really loud again. So you're playing this cat and mouse game with the remote control.
So I think the same actually applies to speaking of this, like Hulu ads. Because like when you're watching the movie, you have it at a certain level, then like when it gets to the ad or the commercial, I feel like the audio like spikes up. Is that kind of the same, or is that like a different?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe their ads are in like 2.0.
Maybe.
And
Either
it's
way,
very
it's
possible.
annoying.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Well,
Yeah.
it's the difference between mono and 5.1, right? So it's like, and it's the difference between whatever the movie was like they're presenting it in,
Recorded or
and what your stereos are at home, like your stereo setup is at home.
Yeah, so not mono, but two channel setup.
a 2-channel.
And like you'll notice a difference. Like one of the best things Matt ever pointed out for me is all like the Screen Factory Blu-rays that come out. They all have a 2.0 channel option on there.
It actually does make a difference if you.
Yes, very much so. Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah. So I always check now when I'm watching movies because I don't have I have a 2-speaker setup.
Yeah.
And every time I watch a movie now, I go straight to the audio setup and see if there's a 2.0 option because it does.
Yeah.
It makes it so it's like you can now watch it and be like, I don't have to like go up and down with. We all three of us live in an apartment, so we're always watching like our sound levels. Yeah. You don't have to worry about the sound levels if you got 2.0.
The 2.0. Yeah. But yeah, so back to the actual.
So
flick.
we watch a lot of stuff on subtitles. So that's why I asked you guys, like, do you guys watch stuff on subtitles?
Yeah, it just depends. I watch subtitles when I go to bed. That way I don't have to like have the volume like blasting, but I can still understand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but as far as the movie's concerned, like going back to the Brad Pitt thing, I think he is the best part of this movie.
I like what's his name? Dennis Farina. He's my favorite part of this movie. Yeah, I think he's hilarious. He's probably the funniest part, and he's the one I can understand the most throughout. Like me.
I honestly like the Three Thieves the most. And I think Brad Pitt takes this movie. Jason Statham is really like just one level throughout this entire movie.
Basically. Yeah.
Every time he even talks, he doesn't like elucidate. He just kind of like it's just like the same exact like monotone voice from beginning of the movie to the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's on purpose or not. Like I'm not going to knock him for it. I don't think it's bad acting or anything like that. But
I just wonder, like watching this movie, I wonder what his career would have been like if he didn't like start getting into the action genre. Because I feel like after this movie, he did The Transporter, which is a Luc Besson movie. And that really kind of like sprung him forward into like as an action star, Expendables, Crank and Fast and Furious and all that stuff. But like, if that didn't happen, like what would this have been just like a 1-hit wonder, or I guess 2-hit wonder because he did Lock, Stock before this, but like, would he have done other stuff if he wasn't into the action?
Honestly, it's like him and Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
I feel like they have like the same career trajectory where they both like start off kind of doing like
Saving Private Ryan for Vin Diesel.
Yeah, like dramas and stuff. And like Chris, you've seen Vin Diesel's
Sharks commercial.
Yeah. What was Vin Diesel's independent movie that he made?
Oh man,
you watched it.
Yeah.
Man.
But he made it and Spielberg saw it and casted him in Saving Private Ryan because of it.
Yeah.
But it's like
awesome.
kind of like
he's awesome. He's awesome in Saving Private Ryan. And I guess he did do that like courtroom drama or a courtroom comedy drama.
Not Guilty.
Find Me Guilty. The Sidney Lumet one. Yeah, the Sidney Lumet one.
Yeah. So like he did do
but he tried to do that stuff.
Yeah.
And like the same thing with like Statham. And then once they did like Pitch Black and Transporter, they were both like, okay, this is where my career is going. But that Find Me Guilty one like came out after the Fast and Furious movies.
He did a movie, going back to Vin Diesel, he did a movie that he directed, wrote, and starred in called Strays, which I never saw. I think that's probably the one. It's a crime.
His first.
Yeah,
it was like his first thing that he did.
Yeah, you saw that, Chris, right?
Yeah, I don't remember much about it, but I did see it back in the day. But yeah, I would like to see Jason Statham take some more dramatic roles. That would be cool to see. Because I think he has the acting chops for it, I think.
Yeah. I liked him a lot in what's that Melissa McCartney movie?
Oh, Spy?
Is it just Spy?
Dude, he's hilarious in that movie.
He's the best part in Spy. Yeah.
I caught that. I thought it looked dumb as hell, but like watched it, I was like, this is actually kind of like pretty good.
That movie's awesome. Yeah.
Very good. He's the best part of it. Yeah, for sure. So,
going
okay.
back, oh, good.
Go into it, Chris. So where are we at?
So going back to the movie, just because it's easier just to talk about characters as opposed to that. So Jason Statham and his like sidekick, or not really his sidekick. I guess it's his buddy that works with him. Yeah. So they set up this fight, and Brad Pitt ends up fighting him. And it's supposed to be like the rigged fight, like you said.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt fights him, knocks him out immediately. So now Brad Pitt is going to be their fighter. And there's actually a few creepy scenes, like when Jason Statham goes to tell his boss that his fighter's not fighting anymore and Brad Pitt's going to fight. Like, it's kind of a creepy scene because he's like surrounded by like all these henchmen, and then like he's like training these dogs to just be like brutal as hell and everything.
Yeah.
So now Brad Pitt is going to be their guy.
He's like the new guy, and then I think they want him to basically fall in the fourth, similar to what the other guy was supposed to do. Or I guess he was supposed to do it in this round, in this fight, but he ended up not going to do that. But yeah, he's supposed to make. He wants Brad Pitt to basically take a fall for basically in order to fix the fight.
And what I think might be the funniest scene in the movie is Brad Pitt does this fight, and he's like taking punches left and right, and like, you got to punch back. So he does one punch, and the guy falls down, and Brad Pitt kind of looks at him like the way he does it is really like, it's that Brad Pitt charm.
Yeah.
But actually, okay, so this movie takes a completely different turn. I know I'm kind of like scattered brain.
That's fine.
To talk about.
I mean, this whole entire movie is like scattered. So
but you have kind of like a lighthearted, like somewhat lighthearted, like crime heist. Benicio del Toro is gonna like gamble the diamond away or something.
I will say, I actually appreciated these opening, not the opening credits where they introduce each character, but like the opening credits as far as like directed by Guy Ritchie, starring, blah, blah, blah. Because it's all told through the perspective of a security camera, or multiple,
it's really neat.
Multiple security cameras, and you're actually like tracking each TV and their progress to go to this this jewelry store, I think. But you're getting conversation, and then you're also getting like text on the security cameras, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that too.
I like the credits,
but the movie kind of takes a turn, and I haven't seen a movie in a while that, I mean, I don't want to say it without giving anything away with other movies, but it has like a turn in the middle when Brad Pitt's mother gets killed and their caravan gets set on fire and she dies. Like, it becomes a different movie at that point.
So like they're almost like playing like Eastern European like folk song, like with the little guitar, and it's like really like, witty, and we're having fun doing this crime heist, and then like that happens and you're like, oh my God, and it's playing like Massive Attack in the background, and you're just like, oh man, this is kind of depressing.
It gets kind of real very fast. And then it leads into an awesome scene when Brad Pitt is fighting that guy, and then Brad Pitt like gets hit and he kind of like goes underwater in the boxing ring.
Very stylish, because I think correct me if I'm wrong, but Guy Ritchie was a big music video director.
Oh, was he?
I think.
I don't know.
Okay.
That might be right. I know he did Madonna stuff, right?
Yeah.
You're thinking
he dated. Yeah, he dated Madonna. I forgot.
Guy Ritchie. One movie, right? He did Swept Away with Madonna. I think that's what you're thinking about.
He did. Yeah. It was that movie
he
did.
But yeah, he did like I guess I thought he was a big music video guy. He only did like one music video in the 90s, and then did Lock, Stock was his first feature, and Snatch was the second one. But yeah, he did a couple here and there.
Okay, I know we're jumping all around, but yeah, let's talk about this boxing. This is the final boxing scene in the movie. I really, really dig this boxing scene. I would say this, like, I'm not a huge fan of Guy Ritchie when it comes to Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. I really like the Sherlock movies.
Yeah, they're pretty fun.
I think he did a good job with the Sherlock Holmes movies.
Yeah.
And I would like to watch a third one if they end up making it.
That would be cool.
But they do a really cool boxing scene in the first Sherlock Holmes movie.
Yeah.
And I feel like this boxing scene is pretty damn close.
It's like
that.
It's almost like the test reel to get him the funding to do the Sherlock Holmes fight, basically.
Yeah. Because I totally dig that, like when he gets knocked out and it just goes right into the water. I think it's really cool.
See, I like the special effects and the editing and all that stuff in this scene alone. I hate it. I hate it when they're doing it throughout the movie where it's like cutting real fast. You got like the screens flipping around as they're like doing quick scenes here and there, but like
kind of dated.
Yeah, it was really dated.
Yeah.
I remember liking this a lot when I was a kid, but like watching it now, I was like, man, this movie has like a sugar high or something where it's like I'm like having a hard time like paying attention because of everything that's going on. But I do like in this scene where he's getting knocked out a bunch or getting hit a bunch and it's doing like the crazy sounds, like the frames are stopping, and then like that where he gets uppercutted and then flies like slow-mo into the water. Like excellent stuff in this movie.
Yeah, I think it's really neat. And I'll tell you what, and it's a bummer when someone does something to a movie and then it gets dated and it's not on their end at all. It's just one of those things that just, because it does. It almost looks like a PowerPoint presentation.
It
where
really
like it spins around, like,
or you have like the scene coming up from off screen, and it's like, and you got like bullet points popping up, like, boop, boop.
It's unfortunate because it's like we just covered Matrix on the podcast a couple months ago, and this is something that like it's why you can't really like in filmmaking. You really can't do fad stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff that's like popping up and it's like, oh, this is really cool. I'm going to try doing the same thing because it dates it. Because everybody who copied the Matrix style after the Matrix looks really dated now.
Like Swordfish?
Because like it just didn't take off. Yeah. It
like
didn't
Swordfish?
take off like after like the people thought. Right, so it's like it sucks to sit there and say like you should only make a movie by like the simple the simple edits,
yeah.
But it feels like it's the one that
there's always
the longest, and
there's always that director, like that one director who comes out with a hit, and then everyone has to follow suit because it made a bunch of money. Everyone loves it, so you got to keep making that same style. So like you said, The Matrix, which is the Wachowskis. Everyone kind of started following like the 360 slow mo, whatever. Then you got like Quentin Tarantino with like Reservoir Dog and Pulp Fiction. You have people following that with like their witty crime dialogue, and it's like not really hitting, as much. So there's always gonna be that director, one director does it well, and then the ones that follow basically in the footsteps.
That was the problem with Tarantino because like when he took a 3-year hiatus between Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, and then Kill Bill came out like I think 3 years after that. 4 years after that.
So yeah,
it was that he like left this giant window for so many Quentin Tarantino imitators,
posers
posers that all made these, and like honestly, Guy Ritchie. Like this is Snatch is very Pulp Fiction-y.
Yeah.
If Snatch was broken up into 3 stories, like solid stories instead of edited all over the place, you'd be like, oh, this is a ripoff of Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
But because it's spread out, you don't notice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is good on him. But like there's a lot of like what you're saying, like witty crime movies that came out and imitators that were like, I want to do what Tarantino's doing. And that by the time when Tarantino came back around, like, I don't think it was as exciting as like it should have been because it was like, you left this huge window for people to copy what you do.
Yeah.
I will give. That's why probably he didn't do Pulp Fiction after Jackie Brown. Like,
I will give it to Quentin Tarantino though, but he at least switched up his genres like to different, different genres with different, other kind of stylistic techniques that kind of follow. So like, you had Reservoir Dogs all took place in one location. Then he upped it by doing Pulp Fiction, multiple stories all over LA with different perspectives or whatever. And then he did like Jackie Brown, which was like a straight crime movie pretty much for the most part. Kill Bill, just like an action samurai movie with some anime here and there. But it's just like he's able to at least like change it up a little bit, but like,
and that's what I'm saying is that like, if he would have like after Jackie Brown, if he would have came back 4 years later and did another crime movie, I don't think people would have gave a shit about it. I think they would have been like, and but I think that's also the good thing with Guy Ritchie is that Guy Ritchie was like, okay, I'm not just gonna do crime movies. Like I know my majority of stuff's gonna do crime stuff, but like I'm not gonna just keep doing Snatch,
Yeah,
and Lock, Stock, and
because
Smoking Barrels over and over.
He followed it up with Swept Away, which was critically panned.
Yes.
And then he went back to the crime genre with Revolver and Rock and Rolla. That's
dude,
so,
I like Rock and Rolla.
I only saw it once, and it was like years, like I don't like maybe 2010.
I don't even remember. Hardy. It was Tom Hardy, right?
Yeah. He was not the star, but he was a character, like a.
He was in it. Yeah.
I think
which one actually?
Gerard.
Go ahead, Chris.
Gerard Butler.
That's right. He was the man. Actually, Matt, you kind of said something that made me look at this movie differently. I kind of wish it had been broken down into segments by character.
It would have been better.
I think and it's not like it's one of those things where it's like too late. Like you can easily edit this. Oh, I don't know how easy it would be, but you could try to edit it into segments.
Get the Topher Grace edit of Snatch. I think we might have something.
Get Topher on the phone, man.
You know about Topher Grace. You know about Topher Grace's edits, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay,
I heard it's nothing but cool. Yeah.
What are you saying, man?
No, because the diamond has nothing to do with the movie.
It's almost like
it's only one story of the movie.
It's almost like the one that starts it's the one that basically bookends this entire movie, basically. But like,
but it's weird because those characters have like no interaction with the other characters in the movie until the very end.
The pawn shop owners or whatever.
Like Dennis Farina has no interaction with. It's like there's two. Okay, it's like there's two stories going on in this movie. There's the diamond story. Yeah. And then there's the fight story. And those are the two stories that are going on. Everything else like fits into those stories, right?
For the most part.
Yeah.
But they're all tied because it's all like, I think both the fighting and the diamond are linked to, I can't remember who exactly, but they're both, it's so hard. I've seen this movie so many times, but it's so hard to like remember the plot details because I think it's just so all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, I've seriously seen this movie like a lot of time. Like, I don't know how many times I've seen this, but like I can almost quote parts of this movie because I've seen it so many times, but I still can't like recall or recount the actual events of the movie.
Let's do this then. I know we're not at the beginning of the podcast anymore. We're halfway through. So
I would say we're more than halfway through.
Oh yeah. What if we talk about like, what do you guys think of these two stories, the fight story and the diamond story? So what do you think of the diamond story?
It's good.
Okay, what do you think of the fight story?
It's good too. I like them both.
All right. That's Snatch. Thanks, Marshall.
I think
I like our viewer Marshall for this pick.
Yeah.
No.
I think I find the diamond aspect of the story of this movie better than the fighting, to be honest. There's more characters I like. More interactions with characters on that side of the side of Snatch than the diamond or the fighting.
I'm gonna go opposite you, and I like the fighting story a little bit more.
Me too. I'm gonna go on that too.
Yeah, why?
Just because of Brad Pitt's story. I mean, if this would have been like a Brad Pitt vehicle, or like, okay, say if the movie just starred Jason Statham co-starring Brad Pitt, and it was their story, I think that'd be really cool.
That actually might be pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I think just by itself.
I like both stories. I was more invested in the fight story.
I think I just like all the how much violence occurs with this diamond and like slapstick comedy. That like there's so many just with Dennis Farina alone, there's so many like one-liners that are like actually kind of laugh out loud funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just so much stuff that happens and so much like just by the end of the movie, like pretty much everyone dies, I think, except for Dennis Farina and the pawn shop owners. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
Literally everyone dies trying to go after this diamond,
I was gonna... Sorry, Chris, you got your question?
Not so much a question, but more of a scene I really enjoyed was when Jason Statham goes to talk to Brad Pitt and they're doing that whole thing with the dog chasing the rabbit.
Yeah.
And then you have the correlation of the guy being chased by the
that was cool.
Chasing.
I do
very
like
cool scene.
Yeah,
very
I do.
neat.
I actually do like the soundtrack. To this
yes,
yes. I like it's not like I don't even think it's like a score. It's just all various artists. You got like Massive Attack. You got I can't remember who does like the Golden Brown song, which I think is like a '60s song.
I can look it up really quick. Keep going.
Yeah. But there's a lot of cool like sequences playing the songs, and it like makes it enjoyable to like listen to. But I do like the symmetry between the dog chasing the rabbit and it's playing that like techno song, and then you got the I think it's Vinnie, yeah, golden brown,
Yeah, the Stranglers.
Stranglers.
Okay. Yeah,
I think that's a 60s song, but yeah, I like
I'm pretty sure it's 60s.
I like where it's like cutting back and forth. It's got the dog and the rabbit, and then cuts to I think it's Vinnie. He's the getaway driver for the pawn shop owners.
1981, by the way.
1981. Okay, wow, that's actually like I didn't think that was like an 80s.
Me neither.
But yeah, music good in this movie.
Yeah, the music's good.
Solid, yeah.
I think the editing is really cool. I think Guy Ritchie has some really cool editing stuff. I know you guys aren't like crazy on board with some of the edits. I mean, it's not like it's like Home Improvement edits where like a football comes at the screen and like breaks and it's like huh?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like diamond.
And Tim Allen's head come through her house.
Yeah.
Is that Yoda?
Yeah. So I think some of the editing's cool. I like how, I will say this. I like how the movie, it's like cohesively, if the movie was straight, like if it was 3 separate stories or 2 separate stories, it wouldn't make any sense. But the way it's edited and like weaved, that you kind of like keep watching it and to see what's going to happen in every other story, right? Yeah. But I felt like after I got done watching it, I was trying to find the correlation in between both of the stories. And I was like, okay, what is this movie trying to say where it's like one story is about boxing, one story is about a diamond? Like, what is it trying to say with both stories? And what do you guys think it's trying to say?
I don't know if it has anything to say. I feel like it's just a story, intertwined stories.
It's saying
or themes. I'm sorry. It doesn't. I'm not saying it says something like politically.
It's saying
I'm saying it says something like theme wise. Like, what's the theme between?
I think
the correlating theme between both stories.
I think Guy Ritchie's trying to say, don't go to London.
Yeah. What do you have to declare?
I don't know if I see it correlating, and I'm not just saying it just to like not answer your question, but I can't think of what the running theme would be. I think it's just I think it's just a bunch of random characters.
I mean, I think it's literally just
story.
Like, I think it's literally just greed because everyone's trying to go after this diamond, and most of them result in getting killed in some way, shape, or form. And then you got Bricktop, who's trying to he's desperately trying to throw this fight so he can make some money for his clients or whatever the hell, and he keeps making the mistake of betting on the pikey or making the pikey fight for him. He should have just taken that loss in the beginning and then just moved on from it. But yeah, he just too greedy, trying to get that fight to get thrown, and then ends up basically getting his head blown off. And it's awesome.
Because I hate to say how simple, a simple theme of it's crime, but maybe it's they're both get rich quick schemes.
I mean,
I feel
that's crime in a nutshell. It's let's rob this bank and make have the perfect score and make a ton of money. And that's ultimately what happens with Frankie Four Fingers is he robs his bank, decides to make a bet, and ends up getting killed basically, or ends up getting kidnapped, killed. It's like a whole chain reaction of oh, maybe I can make some money off this. Because I think what ultimately links the stories together is Frankie Four Fingers gets this diamond, learns about the boxing match, wants to go bet on it, and then ends up getting kidnapped because he has the diamond.
Yeah. But yeah, so because I guess when I got done watching the movie, I was trying to figure out why these two stories, why I think that's my. I mean,
it literally could have been anything else, but
I walked away with at the end of the movie.
I just think it makes sense because Frankie Four Fingers is kind of the anchor of what brings them two together, because he's the guy that ultimately robs the diamond and is in charge with taking it back to New York to Dennis Farina, but then gets caught up in the whole gambling scene of London. And then that's basically forcing Dennis Farina to come over, So it's basically Frankie Four Fingers betting. He's too greedy.
What about, and I this is a random trivia point, but everybody who dies in this movie dies off screen.
Yeah, they kind of do.
Nobody dies on screen.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
you're right. It's actually very true.
Like
Very
everyone who
neat.
gets
Okay.
shot or whatever gets shot off screen.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Which
Okay.
I do like when the Boris the bullet dodger is like off screen saying like he's like, I can't remember what he's saying, but he's saying like kept saying like fuck you, and then keeps like Vinnie just keeps shooting
Yeah.
him, and it's like really funny.
Yeah. I like that joke, but it goes on a little bit too long for me. I think it's a solid joke, but I feel like it's like a 15-minute scene, but whatever,
No,
still a really good scene.
Yeah.
So let's talk. It's kind of wrap up the movie here, and because a lot happens in this last like 15-20 minutes, and it's like one of those things that so much is going on that they even like replay scenes because this happened, this character was in this, you need to watch this again, and there's like characters jumping out of trunks and they're getting hit by cars, and like it's a lot going on. Hanto, you're pretty good at summarizing. At least for this movie, you've been good at kind of walking us through.
Okay, cool.
Wow, man.
Well,
way to throw your job at Honto.
Well, no, okay, I'll do it.
Honto, clean this up. Go ahead and clean this up.
Okay, I'll do it. David Schwimmer gets the diamond, and they win. They win the game.
What is going on right now?
No, so it pretty much the whole movie is just nothing but chaos this last like 15-20 minutes. You have a dog who has swallowed the diamond. The dog goes off screen. The pawn shop guys know about it.
And then I think the dog eats the diamond, and then I think Dennis Farina starts shooting wildly, and then accidentally shoots Bullet Tooth Tony.
Vinnie Jones.
Tony the Bullet Tooth, whatever.
I forgot he did.
Tony the Bullet Tooth Tony.
Yeah, Tony the Bullet Tooth Tony in the head, and then he dies off screen. And then it hard cuts to Dennis Farina basically, chugging the vodka, taking the pills, getting the passport stamp, and it said, "Do you have anything to declare?" He says, "Yeah, don't go to London," which is awesome. I love it.
I do laugh at that. I did laugh.
But I love the first introduction. It still cracks me up to this day. Best line of the movie when he's like, "I'm coming to London," and then he says, "Avi," he's like, "Sit down and shut up, you big bald fudge." And it's very, very funny because
I know exactly. Yeah.
Really quick, at the end of this episode, I've got a fun question to ask you guys. So remind me to ask you.
Off podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Podcast.
A sexy, fun question.
About Snatch.
Yeah.
So it pretty much wraps up. How does Brad Pitt's character kind of end up at the end?
He wins the fight, gets the motor, the caravan, kills Bricktop, gets his revenge on the entire gang. Basically, I think they all get killed. And then the next day, when Turkish and Tommy go to like greet him, they've abandoned. They're all gone. Like,
that's right. Yeah.
And then at that point, I think Tommy basically catches the dog that escaped and doesn't realize that the diamond's in that dog because he's eventually going to poo it out, at some point. But as they're driving away, they pass by the pawn shop owners who are getting arrested because they have, I think, Boris the Blade's body in the trunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
They said it's missing. They're like, do you know why this arm is missing? Oh no, it's Frankie Four Fingers.
Yeah. It's Benicio del Toro.
Yeah. So it basically bookends. It bookends with Frankie Four Fingers basically stealing the diamond, and then ends with him basically resulting in their arrest.
Yeah. And they end up taking the dog to the vet. And the dog had a squeaker in its stomach and a diamond, and then they take the diamond back to the diamond dealer at the beginning of the movie, who is dealing with Dennis Farina.
Yeah,
and then then Dennis Farina flies back to London to like reclaim the diamond.
Oh, so he does come back. Yeah,
so which I don't know if like. It makes me question what happens to Jason Statham, like at the end of this movie. Do they get paid off or do they get killed?
I don't think they get killed because Bricktop's dead. Bricktop and the whole gang they're all dead.
Yeah, but it's like stolen goods. It's not their diamond. It's like I feel like
the diamond ended up getting back to Doug and Avi. It's not like they knew that they stole the diamand. They had a stolen diamond.
Yeah.
They got it because the dog ate it.
Okay.
I think they're
Okay,
I think they're alive and well.
You know what? That's fine.
They have
That's fine.
You win.
That's the way.
They live a long and happy life.
Yeah. Well, my movie ends like Brazil.
Yeah.
Never saw it.
Oh, dude, I just watched that movie. That movie.
Not the love conquers all.
That movie is depressing. That movie is very depressing.
Yeah, that ending sucks. That ending ruins that movie.
The ending is kind of like on a good trajectory, and then the ending happened, like the credits, and you're like, man, that was not fun.
No, it kind of goes into a really cool place, and it was going to be one of my favorite movies, and that ending kind of ruins it. There's controversy between the ending because there's the Love Conquers All ending that was released in the U.S. and then the original British ending. I watched the original like English ending, British ending.
I've seen both.
Or European ending, I guess.
Yeah.
And I was a little disappointed by the European ending. I kind of wish I would have watched the Love Conquers All ending.
Dang, Marshall, thanks for requesting Brazil.
What is going on?
We'll be back.
Was Snatch from 2001.
Man, I can't wait for real quick. I can't wait for like people to like look on YouTube or whatever. Like, oh, cool! Like Snatch. Nobody's talked about that movie in like 21 years. I gotta listen to this. And then we're like talking about Brazil at the end for a little bit.
God.
You
know what's odd about this movie?
And from Dustle Dawn, the Hangman's Daughter.
Yeah, that'll be trending after this episode. Two things. One, very odd. I didn't realize it until now. No real female characters in this movie.
There's the twins. There's the twins that are
I forgot about
the daughters
I guess
of
you kind of do. You get
Doug the head or whatever, and then
but I feel like Chris is on it though. Like that's right, man. Like there's really no female characters in the movie. There's like I wouldn't even call them
side characters.
I wouldn't even call them supporting characters. I'd call them background characters. Like
I don't even think there's like female like actors in Lock, Stock either. I think it's all male.
Is there really? I haven't seen Lock,
Yeah.
Stock in a long time, so
Yeah.
And then my question real quick before we go ahead and rate this.
Yeah.
Do you see this, and Matt already kind of brought it up, do you see this as a Tarantino ripoff? I know that's something that's been talked about before.
I don't.
Okay.
Yes.
You do?
Yeah, I do. I see, I mean, to the point where the beginning when it's intentional though. It's not like a ripoff where it's like they're trying to fuck him over.
Yeah.
Like it's like an intentional like homage, I guess. To the point where in the beginning of the movie, Benicio del Toro is walking in dressed up as a and sorry, in the Diamond Heist, he's dressed up as a
rabbi,
and along with like 3 other guys that are dressed up like rabbis. I think it's 3.
Yeah, it's 3.
And they're all talking about Madonna, but they're talking about Madonna in the sense of like, yeah, and it's a literal nod to Reservoir Dogs. Like
very
to the
cool.
opening.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's intentional. So it's like I think Guy Ritchie is being intentional when it comes to
his nods.
Yeah, his nod to Tarantino.
Yeah.
I changed my mind.
It does. What? That you don't
no, it does. It totally does. It makes sense. Yeah. No, I think I agree with that.
Yeah. And I think it's fine. I still think it's a good flick, despite its obvious influences.
Yeah. I think ultimately it is good for me, since I've seen it so many times, and like it just kind of the value has decreased over time, I think.
Okay, I understand that.
So
let's go ahead and rate and review this movie. And so it has a 74 on Rotten Tomatoes. I'll go first. I will give it a. See, now I have to base it because you give like Friday the 13th Part 5 like a 25%, and so
go for man. Is it better or worse than Friday the 13th Part 5?
Oh, I think it's very obvious it's better than Part 5.
Can you imagine if you had a review like you're a reviewer and you're a reviewer that bases movies off of Friday the 13th Part 5, and that's all it is. You're like, and at the end of your review, you get done talking about the movie. You're like, but I think it might be better than Friday the 13th Part 5. Like,
tune in next week. Well, duh. I think I'm gonna go with the 55%. I think it's a fine movie. I wasn't bored. It didn't feel like a chore. I didn't love it, but I was entertained the entire time. 55%. I think it's
okay.
Good movie. So
okay.
Matt, what do you got?
I'm gonna go with a 60%. I feel
Oh
like
wow, I thought you were gonna go like in the teens.
So did I.
no, I'm not a dick.
Oh no, refer to the earlier in the episode.
Yeah, when you're trying to make me
feel
cry.
like there's when we're talking about domestic, the definition of domestic. But like I feel like there's good elements in the story. I feel like it's one screenplay away from being a better movie. And I only say that because I wish the two stories were more connected. And that the diamond story really has nothing to do with the movie.
It's the only thing that drives the violence pretty much. That's like the really only driving force, you know?
Yeah. I feel like the diamond the diamond story is only there for the payoff at the end. And I hate that. And I kind of wish it was more like interconnected, like these guys were like working with each other. And I feel like I wanted to walk away with the themes more. Like I feel like I wanted to walk away with like knowing the themes of the movie more. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, what is the connection between the two stories outside of just, you know, like, why are you telling me these two stories? That's what I wanted to walk away with. So I would say 60%.
Okay. And Hanto.
Man, I feel like when I watched this as a kid, it was like in the like 4-star territory, but this is definitely like 3 stars, like a 60%.
Okay.
Yeah, I think like again the story's kind of muddled. Like I mentioned again, like I've seen this movie a ton of times, but I still have trouble like trying to find the connecting, like the interlinked portion of the two stories, basically. But I will give it like the cast is like pretty great. It's kind of an all-star cast, you know. And I do feel like there are some pretty some good quirks to the dialogue and whatnot that it keeps I'm pretty engaged throughout the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Music awesome. Editing, tone it down on the flashiness, you know, make it kind of more you know, a little bit more legit, but yeah, I think there's certain aspects that don't really age well with this movie. So 60%.
So okay, yeah. So it sounds like we all like it. We don't love it, but it's worth a watch. Okay.
Yeah.
Marshall, thank you for that request.
Yes.
We have one more request. Well, actually, we got kind of two. We have one more request, and then we have a request / transition to a brand new month. And so
September. Yeah.
In September. So for our last like absolute listener request month, we have from Nate, LA Confidential, starring who's the girl from 8 Mile?
Brittany Murphy.
Kim Basinger.
Starring LA Confidential, starring Brittany Murphy. There we go.
Yeah. It's Kim Basinger and Russell Crowe. I've heard nothing but good things about this movie. I have not seen it. I know you guys both have.
So, we talked about this on our Christmas episode.
And we mentioned it in the last episode, I think.
Really?
Oh, really?
I referenced the chair break in this movie, which is infamous.
Yeah.
This movie is like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this is like a top tier movie for me.
Cool. Way to spoil next week's podcast.
This will be my this is my
refer to my Christmas
episode. I do like
episode.
this movie.
Refer to the Christmas episode where I probably mentioned the same thing.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt, what were you saying?
This would be the second time watching this movie. I'm like looking forward to watching it. Is it streaming anywhere?
It is.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up really quick for viewers, so that in case they want to watch it with us.
Okay.
So keep going, Chris.
So that'll go ahead and wrap up the month of August for our listener requests. If you have any more further requests, please hit us up on Facebook, or you can email us at
cinemacallpodcast@gmail.com.
And just to let you know that upcoming months, we have September, which is back to school month. We have October, which is Stephen King month. We have November, which is James Bond month. We'll do the new James Bond, and I'm assuming we're probably going to do the Ghostbusters, I would hope. And December will be our mixed bag of horror / Christmas movies that we always do. And that'll wrap up the rest of the year. And Matt, did you find out if it's streaming anywhere?
No, my phone died, and it looks like it's not streaming anywhere.
It is streaming on Tubi or Pluto. So if you have 15 hours to spare to watch this movie, you can watch on those two platforms.
Dude, Here's my
Matt, we were so
advertisement
close to
for
the end.
Tubi.
We were done.
Real quick, this is actually good. This is good. I
This is
think.
my advertisement for Tubi.
Yeah.
Tubi is the future of streaming. If you haven't downloaded Tubi yet,
Movies with commercial breaks. Imagine the future.
If you can get past the commercial breaks, I'm not getting paid by Tubi, but if you can get past the commercial breaks, there is a lot of great hidden gems on Tubi.
I will admit there's a pretty good collection on there. I'm like really excited about it. So
if you're looking for some weird 90s straight to video horror film,
there's some weird
this
stuff
October.
on there. Yeah, there's some weird stuff on there.
Yeah, the other day I watched Meridian with Sherilyn Fenn from Twin Peaks.
Yeah,
it was a Full Moon Pictures movie.
Oh, you're in for a treat when it's Full Moon Pictures.
Yeah, it was okay, but it was like I was like, you know what, this isn't streaming anywhere except for Tubi. So
if you have any requests, for the upcoming months, you can hit us up. And thank you for listening. We love doing this. We hope you love listening to it. I'm Chris.
Hold on.
What else you got for Pluto? Or Tubi?
Matt, I told you guys on. I have a question for you.
Listeners, if you're wondering why there's 10 minutes left in the podcast, is because Matt keeps asking questions.
No, this was a fun question. You told me to come up with fun questions. I got fun questions.
Yeah, like 2 years ago, and this is your first one.
Yeah. You're taking this making it longer than it needs to be.
He does bring up a good point.
Honto, the characters in this movie, rattle off some of the gangster characters in this movie.
Doug the Head, Bolt Tooth Tony, Boris the Blade.
Okay.
What do you?
So a common trend in gangster films,
Dick Tracy,
is to have like these nicknames.
Okay.
What would your nicknames be? If you were a gangster?
Chris the Podcaster. See you next week.
What?
No.
You son of a bitch. Bastard. You answer this question. Like, I feel like Honto would be Honto the hot dog.
Because I just love eating hot dogs.
Yeah. He's a hot dog. He's like got a hot temper.
It's like that. It's like that.
And he's a dog off the leash, you know, like hot dog.
It's like that. It's because I can't. It's like that sketch in I Think You Should Leave. I have hot dogs up my sleeves all the time.
Yeah, there you go.
Lunch.
That makes sense.
I might say
to those niche viewers that watch that show.
Yeah.
Maybe Chris the Cooler Brother,
or Chris the Christmas Tree.
Or Matt the
Bob Dracula.
Bob Dracula.
Yeah, that's yeah, man. He'll suck your blood. It sounds like a prostitute.
Well, hey there, neighbor. I was going to suck your blood.
I'm Bob Dracula.
I'm Bobby Dracula.
I'm Bobby Dracula.
Man, I wish you would have asked this at the beginning of the podcast.
Oh, very good. Yes.
Think throughout, but since you caught me,
I just thought of it at the end. Lucky for you.
Do your research next time because I don't think you're going to answer.
Do me.
What's your stupid name, dude?
It's okay. Easiest way to do it is you just do the initial of your first name. So Honto H, Honto Hot Dog, like Chris, Christmas Tree, Matt.
Honto's not my real
Matt
name. And viewers, surprise, it's not my real name. So.
Oh, we just got disconnected. Oh, wait, that doesn't make any sense. That was stupid.
I don't know.
So give me one.
Do me.
What is your name? I already asked you.
It's Matt. Do me.
Matt, do me.
Do me. Matt, do me.
Oh, man.
The prostitute thing again.
He's a man of the streets.
I'm a man of the street. I don't know why I sound desperate. It's really like I'm painting a picture here, and like
yeah, you really are.
Matt, do me.
Matt, do me, Bob Dracula.
God. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe what's that?
Matt Hot Dog Jr.
What?
I don't know. I'm just trying to play the game. Matt Hamburger. Matt Cup.
Here I got it. Oh. I wear this hat and I'm top billed.
Oh, Matt Top. Oh, that's Honto Top Bill.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Watch out. Yeah. He's coming down the street. He's got the top bill.
That's pretty good.
He's my number one guy, Top Bill.
Top Bill,
Yeah.
you got me. You got me for one day only because I'm Top Bill.
I don't know. Maybe like
I'm
Chris.
Sean Connery. I'm Top Bill. You can't afford me.
Nice. Maybe Chris.
great.
Chris John Wick 2. That's what they call me.
What?
Chris John Wick 2.
More like Chris Milk Money. Yeah, he's trying to get us to cover milk money all the
Man,
time.
this guy-
You don't want to talk to him.
This guy collects the milk money. He's such a bully. Chris Milk Money.
What a dated reference. There's no such thing as milk money anymore. Hey, he collects milk money.
I don't know. Going to the
You
grocery
can-
store.
Chris the bookie, he collects milk money.
Oh,
Milk money Chris.
Oh man, yeah, he's
That's
bad
good.
news. Gotta watch out. Yeah, watch out for his number one man, Top Bill. Top Bill,
Milk Money.
And Chris Jack Reacher
and-
Part 2.
and Matt Doomey.
All right, fun question.
Cool. Wow.
All right, so this is how we end the podcast. We end the podcast with our gangster names. All right, so Chris, go ahead.
All right. Thank you so much for listening. We love doing this. We hope you love listening to it. I'm Chris Milk Money.
I'm Matt Doomey.
And I'm Top Bill.
We'll see you next time.
I think the guy says like nice jacket or something, gives it to him, and then when he comes back to Gotham, he's a nice jacket, and then flies away.
Yeah.
And that's all I have for cast and crew. I promise that's the
All right.
last one. Chris, did you
Froze?
Chris disappeared forever.
Chris froze?
That was his excuse to get off the podcast.
There we go.
Am I gone?
This has to stay in. What are you taking a picture of?
Dude, it's okay because for like 5 minutes, this was all I saw. Hold on. Nope, that doesn't make any sense.
Oh my
Just press it.
God.
Okay.
This is great.
I think an old lady being like,
This is
Chris,
my grandson.
Are
This
you
is
tired, buddy?
Matt.